Hey everybody, this is VBS Vision with a Procreate tutorial. I'm going to be showing you in this tutorial just the basic setup of your Procreate. Just going through most of the buttons. I know when people get Procreate, they tend to not really know exactly what they're doing, and neither did I. That is perfectly okay. So when you initially get the app, it's going to bring you to a screen pretty much like this, where it has example artworks. As you can see here, there's the option to restore it because I took mine off. It's just basically artworks that other people have uploaded that they showcase upon entering the app. So we'll go ahead and get out of here, but it's going to bring you to this page where it'll be blank and you can start your own creations here. As you can see, I have quite a few of my own on here. So you can have your single pictures, or you can have your stacks in here. Just to kind of organize, you can stack different pictures into folders of their own. So then when you go back in and open them up, it's got all of your stuff here. And then you can also rename them whatever you'd like. I did skins, tops. That one's supposed to be hats, but whatever. So moving on up to these up here, they're pretty self-explanatory, but we'll go through it anyways. That first one's going to open you up for stacks, previews, share, duplicate, and delete. And this, you can actually choose multiple ones if you would like to, and do whatever you'd like with them. You can bring them together, preview them without any editing. You can share them, so you can export them from here as JPEGs or PNGs, whatever you'd like. There's a ton of options there. You can duplicate and delete as well, multiples if you'd like to. This import right here is going to be pretty crucial for if you want to bring different brushes and things into your Procreate, however you like to do it. However, Procreate does come loaded with a ton of brushes that you can use on your own. And then the photo here, you can bring in your own photos. For instance, I actually did this one here. I brought in my own photos, and I find it really easy to do that and then kind of trace over them to make your digital edit of something that you've already drawn, or however you'd like to do that. And then this plus sign here is your new canvas, so you can actually make your custom sizes up here, or you can go with what they've loaded on here. You have your screen size, square, 4K, A4, 4x6 paper, and comic. And then this one here is my untitled. I made it my own, which is 1400 by 1400 pixels. I find that one kind of works best for me when I'm uploading to different platforms. So I've already made a new one that I'm kind of just toying around with here. A little happy face. So you go into here and you're going to see all of your icons up here, and at first obviously it's going to look a little confusing. Your little tool up here, you can use these options inside of here to add photos inside of this if you didn't already start with a photo. You can change your canvas size, you can share from here, and then you can actually do in your video, you can have kind of like a video recording, like a time lapse of a project that you're working on, which is really good for those Instagram uploads where you can kind of show your work and all that. So those are pretty nice. And then obviously your help, I find it really good to just kind of look at DIYs and tutorials. And then you have your adjustments over here, this little magic marker and stuff like that. You can change the colors, the blurs, and the actual sharpening of your lines, however you'd like to kind of warp them depending on the type of project that you're doing. These are really crucial in making really nice backgrounds and adding more detail. This next one, it doesn't really have a name, or at least I don't know it does, but it looks like an S. This one is for kind of taking pieces from your arts that you like to change. So this one here, the freehand, you can kind of draw whatever you want if you want to take just a small section. And then let's say I copy and pasted that. You can actually take that and it makes the exact same thing, copies it, and then just moves it over. So that's really cool. You have that kind of stuff in here, and you can just you can do it freehand, or you can do your different rectangles, ellipses, things like that. And then you can copy it, you can save, load it, color fill it, clear it, whatever you'd like. And then, the cool thing about it is, once you've, decided, that's what I want to make, you go over to the arrow here, and this will allow you to freeform, uniform it, distort it, or warp it. So I found this especially good for if you wanted to do like kind of like wrap lettering. I would go to like distort, and you can, one side will kind of stay in place while the other one, you can kind of move it and stretch it. You can make those, really big, cool looking letters and stuff. Or you can warp it if you'd actually like to stretch the individual pieces. So this one puts it on a grid, and you can kind of mesh it and move it however you'd like. And then if that doesn't work for you and you want to get even further than that, you can actually go to the advanced mesh here, and it'll add multiple points where you can really get, very detailed and individual with what pieces of that piece that you want to move around. You can flip it back and forth, up and down. You can rotate it if you'd like. You can fit it to the canvas, make it really big. The bilinear, I haven't really explored with it too much. I don't really use it. I never have really, so I can't really help you on that one, but my guess is you probably won't really need it. And then you have your reset. If you don't like anything that you just did, you could reset it, puts it right back to where you were at. Okay, so then we're moving over here to the brushes, which is going to be your brush library. First, straight offhand, these two didn't really come with it. These were my imports, but starting at sketching and all the way down, you can see there is a ton of things that Procreate has already uploaded in here. So they have a ton of really cool pens, pencils, inking, marker-looking types, paintings. Artistic calligraphy is really good for your lettering, but airbrushing for, backgrounds, hard, softs. And then, your elements, you can add like water effects to it, clouds and stuff. I use these two quite a bit in my pictures. Spray paints, which are really awesome to use, because you can give your pictures just like these really nice backgrounds and effects. It makes your stuff look so much more detailed. Materials, all kinds of cool stuff in here. But then you can also have your imports down here. So I actually imported from a tattoo artist a little kit here where, he had his stippling. He has different pieces of the body, so you can kind of, if you wanted to do that, you can put like a full arm on there and make your, tattoos from there. So these are really cool imports that you guys can check out. And if you don't want to, obviously, this stuff will more than make do for, you can do a ton of stuff on here. So that's really cool about the brush library. The next tool that we're going to go to is the smudge. This is basically just if you're really into kind of like blending your colors and stuff like that. This is really easy to kind of pull them out and it'll blend. You can see the gradient in them goes from, kind of a dark to a light where it looks like a real nice swipe. And you can actually do that to, kind of blend your pictures a little bit better. The next one's an eraser. Pretty self-explanatory. It's for erasing. And you can actually apply your brushes to that. So if you'd like to erase everything in the form of a rose, you can choose that one there. But you can also, erase in a big round brush like that as well. So that kind of works out really well for what effects you're trying to give your pictures. This one here is going to be your layers. I found that, it doesn't really fill up with the layers. There's never too many that I've ever had to use. So I don't really think that that's too much of a problem, but you can add these layers and it's going to be really good for if you're making a really detailed picture and, let's say you made a mistake, pretty far into it. The layers will really help so that you can kind of keep the integrity of your borders and, just erase something on an under layer. So if you make a mistake, you can go back and fix it really easily without having to destroy your entire picture. So those layers are great. Inside of each layer on these, you can change the different almost like filters to whatever you put in there. So you can darken them, lighten them, multiply, color burn, all that kind of stuff. And all it does is kind of apply a filter to whatever is inside of that layer. Also, while we're on the layers, this check mark here, you can actually turn layers on and off if you'd like. So let's say there's something you didn't want to really get rid of. You just kind of wanted it out of the way while you're working on something else. You can actually just turn them on and off. Your plus sign, you add them. And then down here is going to be your background color. And when you choose that, it's going to bring up your wheel, your color wheel. So you can actually choose whatever color of your background that you'd like. So that's actually going to be the next one, is going to be this color wheel. It's got different palettes, different styles of, however you want to choose your colors and kind of balance them out there. So they have different things that you can use here, like this one here. It'll show you as you're going with, you're saying, oh, I want to use some yellows. It'll show you the opposite complementary colors with it that kind of go with each other. So that helps out a ton when you're trying to make pictures that kind of complement each other's with, soft and light colors. Your values, and then your palettes. Which is nice on the palettes because it'll kind of give you light shades of colors that you can use if there's a specific picture that you're trying to draw. I find myself mostly on my own disc, just because I kind of know what I like and I know what I like to go for in my pictures. The outside, you can choose the basic color, obviously anything in the rainbow that you want. But then if you really want to dial it in and, I don't want a dark purple, I'd like kind of a lighter one, a little bit more of like a lavender. You can use this one in here to kind of choose exactly what you want. Or let's say you want to go straight back to white or straight to black. You can do that as well. So then the final thing is going to be your this tool here on the side, and this is going to control the size of your brush when you're drawing, or also when you're erasing as well. So you'd have to switch back between those two. And then this one here is going to be the opacity of your actual drawing. So let's say you didn't want to change the opacity up here of an entire layer, but you wanted to change the opacity while you're drawing. You can actually do that. You can change it right here, and then as you're drawing, those lines will actually come in a lot lighter than all the rest, depending on where it's at. These two down here are going to be your back. So if there's something that you didn't like, you can obviously erase it just with the undo. And then if you want to, let's say you erase too far, because you could do it a bunch of times. You did it too far and you wanted to actually, save something, you can actually just go back forward as well. And then just an extra little tip trick here. 2 fingers will do the same thing. If you just tap once, it'll, erase, it'll undo that. And then redo is actually 3 fingers. You tap and it just goes forward. So that is pretty much it as far as all the icons on Procreate. I hope you enjoyed this video, and come check me out on YouTube at VVS Vision for some more tutorials as we kind of explore and go a little bit further into Procreate. Thanks.